offense fell off of a cliff. I understand that Milwaukee had primarily a defense take the W there. Clearly the Bucks disagreed with me on that front. Giannis unfortunately ended up getting hurt before the playoffs, meaning he would miss the series against Indiana, and they are up 3-1, which means they're pretty much guaranteed to advance, as in Game 5, I believe there is no Damian Lillard on top of no Giannis, and Chris Middleton's good, but he's not that good. As a result, a team that was expected to be in the conference finals at the bare minimum, likely a finals appearance, instead they're a first-round exit. They're out of the picture before we're even really starting. Luckily for Milwaukee, there is a bright side. I don't really think that there is too much retooling that needs to be done here in order to bring back a championship roster going into next season. Now, first things first, unfortunately, this suggestion won't happen because they signed him to a multiple-year contract, but they should fire Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers was not a good coach with this team. He was literally poorer record. Adrian Griffin went 30-13. They were on pace for 57 wins. Under Doc Rivers, they went 17-19. Yeesh. That's fucking awful. Literally an under 500 record and then getting gentlemen swept in the playoffs. I understand no Giannis, but still, damn. I would fire Doc Rivers, and I would bring back Mike Budenholzer because he has a rapport with this team. He has a history with this team, especially a history with Giannis. He was a better NBA coach than average, and they fired him after his brother died, which was a real dick move. So how about you give him a signing bonus on top of that? That's what they should do. They won't, though. So that's a huge factor here. But outside of that, in terms of actual personnel, my primary goal this offseason, if I was Milwaukee, is I would trade Bobby Portis. Now, I understand that Bobby Portis was a very key figure in this team on their championship run, but the offensive explosion for this team with the addition of Damian Lillard reduces the necessity of his presence. He was a post scorer, a mid-range catch-and-shoot guy, a three-point catch-and-shoot guy, can do a little bit of creation and is a good off-ball player. Very useful, very big player for them in that playoff run. Not that useful anymore. And Milwaukee Bucks fans kind of started to turn on him as the season went along because, yeah, dude, this guy's just not really what we need. And he kind of is a ball stopper, and he's not the strongest defender in the world, so I would let him go. Not to mention, backup center is probably the easiest position to fill in the entire NBA. Getting one with Bobby's offensive skill set is certainly not that easy, but, you know, I'd rather have a minimum center who plays defense and isn't slowing down my possessions. I would trade him for a true 3-and-D wing who can start for this team. Something that was explored a little bit last year was Grant Williams for Bobby Portis. That was when he was on the Mavericks. Of course, the Mavericks ended up trading Grant to the Charlotte Hornets. Who knows if Charlotte would actually be interested in that swap, but Grant is a career 38% shooter, and he's a really strong and talented defensive player. And when I say strong, I mean like literally he's fucking jacked. He's capable of playing small forward, I think, and he can also allow Giannis to play the small ball 5 at points, which of course was very key in the Bucks 2021 championship. Is they had PJ Tucker, who really was still solid at that point in his career. Very good defender, very strong guy, undersized in height, but not undersized in girth. Pause, I think. And then he could hit his threes, specifically from the corner. Grant Williams can do all of those things, and you can essentially replicate that probably to an even better degree because Grant now should be a little bit better than PJ Tucker was then. There are other options, though. There's kind of a high and low option. You can also throw in Pat Connaughton. He makes $9 million a year, so combined they make about 22, and that can get you a pretty penny. Bruce Brown from the Toronto Raptors, that is a trade I'm almost certain you can pull off. I don't know if, you know, that's where you want to go higher, but at the very least you could have that in your back pocket. There are two options that I think would probably be home runs. One of them more guaranteed, one of them a more boom or bust option. Both of these trades, I also am not all that sure that they can actually pull them off, which is why I give you that Bruce Brown and Grant Williams option on the low end. But on the high end, for $22 million, that can get you Andrew Wiggins, and that can get you Cam Thomas. Now, Brooklyn has